Hey everyone, it's Jen standing here with Standing Strong Wellness, and today I thought I would sit down and make a video for you guys. I know it's been a little while, and I actually had other plans this morning, but it's snowing like crazy out there, so I thought why not just pour myself a cup of coffee and make a video that's kind of been on my mind for the last little while. Look how cute this mug is. You know you're a dog mom one. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a review about the school I went to, which is CSNN, Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. I just graduated from that school just over a month ago, and one of the things that really helped me decide if this was going to be the school for me was actually watching another YouTube video sort of review-ish talking about it. So I thought, hey, if I can make one and it can be helpful for somebody else, I'm gonna do it. So when it comes to nutrition, in my experience, I've found there's no shortage of avenues to go down, and there are definitely, at least here in Calgary, a couple of different schools that you can choose from. And I'm basically gonna explain why I chose CSNN. I can't really compare too much between programs because, of course, this is the only nutrition program that I've taken. But I can definitely tell you my experience and what I thought of it. So as I mentioned before, I had watched another video on YouTube about CSNN, and that's what really got me intrigued about it. And I noticed on their website that they had an orientation coming up just for people to come out and kind of see if it would be a good fit for them. They basically give you an overview of what the school is going to be like, what the options are afterwards, how successful the students are afterwards. And I have to say that the orientation made me fall in love with the idea of the school. What really drew me to this program was the fact that I was coming from a place where I was really interested in how food affected your mindset and your psychology, and I knew that this course would have a mind, body, soul sort of connection weaved throughout it, and so that's really kind of what drew me into this course as opposed to the others that I looked at. As whole beings, there's so many aspects of ourselves that are interconnected, and I love that CSNN kind of took that part of it into account. I'd also heard a lot of good things about the school from word of mouth, and I was told that the teaching is incredible, and I loved that they had flexible options for their program, so you could do it online or in school, and you could either do morning or night. So that really worked for me as I was going to be working full-time while in school, so I liked that they had those flexible options. Now, let's get down to it. I just remember thinking back to my first day and just feeling such a rush of emotions because this was so built up in my head and I was so excited for everything that the year was to bring. So I guess first I'll talk about the curriculum. The curriculum for the school is hard, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You're working with people to improve their health. It's very serious, and I'm glad that they hold their students to such a high standard and expect everyone to do really well if they intend to graduate from the program. Well-rounded program in terms of the curriculum, so you have everything from chemistry and anatomy. You're going to talk about mind-body connection, you're going to learn about aging, all sorts of things, and I thought that was great. Especially since there are people who want to get into certain niches of nutrition, and I think that was a good way for people to figure out, what their strengths were and what they kind of had no interest in. And I know for me, I've never been good at science, but I will say that the anatomy course as well as the chemistry was really, really hard. And if you decide to go through with it, there'll be certain things that are more difficult for you. But the good news is that the Instructors are very supportive, and they make sure that they illustrate what you need to know in order to do well. They don't kind of just teach the material and leave you hanging. They really kind of reiterate the things that you're going to need to know in order to do well. These teachers aren't just teachers. They're people with real-world knowledge and experience in the field of nutrition. So learning from them, it's not just about the curriculum on a maybe like even a more personal level. There's so much to learn from these people. You could tell they just really wanted us to do well. They're not only amazing people, but they're also amazing businessmen and women. So definitely people that you can look up to throughout the program. There's also a practical component to the course. So you do have to go to workshops and kind of go out and do your own learning in the world. It's kind of just hard to choose which ones you could go to because some are put on by the school and they're free. Others are put on by instructors and they cost money. And some of them are kind of just from outside people. Like me, for instance, I'll be putting on a workshop tonight and have invited the students at CSNN this year to come. The only thing about that component of the course is that it can be expensive. So if I could go back in time and redo that part, I would have set myself a budget at the beginning of the year for what I was willing to spend on workshops and stayed within that. And just know that the free ones that are put on by the school are, some of them are mandatory, but even the ones that aren't mandatory are amazing, and they're created with good reason. They're usually on subjects that are really helpful and things that you'll really need to know about. I guess the one thing that I kind of missed out on during the year, and no school really has control over this, so it has really nothing to do with the school, but you will find that there are some groups that get to know each other and take advantage of the fact that you know, during school maybe see these people more than your own family. And they get really close, and I didn't really experience that during the year, but I know that there were other classes that did, and that spent a whole bunch of time together, that studied together, that became sort of like a family, and I think that's really beautiful. And although I didn't really have that opportunity, that's not to say that there weren't amazing people in my class, because there was, and I learned so much from them and about them. But I encourage you to kind of cultivate that atmosphere of support and caring and friendship, because it really goes a long way, especially when you're in such a high stress atmosphere. Another question people ask a lot is, can you work full-time during the school year? And I did, and I don't recommend it. Like, I didn't really have any other choice, but I think people tended to do better when they had less on their plate, and it really depends on where you're at in life. It's definitely not impossible, but you can definitely do it. It's not easy, you just have to stay dedicated. There's, any tips for success that I can give you guys in terms of doing well in the program. I would really say just one thing and one thing only, and that's, do this if you have a passion for it, and if you have that passion, just keep that fire burning. It does get hard over 9 months. There are times, life happens, and there are points where it does get hard, or days where you feel unmotivated. But you have to find that passion within you and think about where you want to be a year from then, and I think then you'll do really well. This school is for people who, have an open mind and don't believe that there's any one right way for anyone to do anything, and who really believe that everybody is biologically different, and they'll teach you that at the school. Everybody is, down to the cells in our body, we're different from each other. So there is no one size fits all approach. And if that really resonates with you, then I think that, you will potentially do pretty well. Well, I hope this video helped you guys in any way, but of course, if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments. I'm happy to respond. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye. Thanks guys, have a great day. Bye.